Professor, look at this place. Half the building is covered in scaffolding, and the other half still has those gorgeous old wooden carvings. It feels like two different centuries pressed together.
That's because they are, Sakura. We're standing beside an old Buddhist altar workshop near Sensoji Temple in Asakusa. They're converting part of it into a modern showroom, beginning and ending, occupying the same space.
Speaking of things that overlap, you wanted to talk about religion in Japan today?
Religion, yes, but probably not in the way you'd expect. Most Japanese people will tell you they're not religious, and yet tens of millions flock to shrines on New Year's Day. Nearly every funeral follows Buddhist rites. People buy protective charms without thinking twice about it.
So they do religious things without calling it religion?
Exactly. And that paradox is creating some really interesting business dynamics right now. Let's start with something nobody likes to talk about. Death.
Cheerful.
Ha! But hear me out. Japan's funeral industry is worth roughly $12 billion, and until recently, almost everything was done by hand. Paper notifications, cash collections, manual invoicing. Now, a platform called Itowa is digitizing the entire process.
A digital funeral platform? Doesn't that feel a bit impersonal?
That's what many thought. But consider what Itowa actually does. Obituary notices sent via line or text message instead of handwritten letters. Digital guest books. Online ordering for funeral flowers and offerings. They even have a 24/7 AI assistant called Itowa Talk. And the results speak for themselves. A 90% reduction in flower ordering workload alone.
90%? That's massive.
They've handled over 15,000 funerals so far. About 40 funeral companies use it now, processing around 2,000 funerals per month. They recently partnered with a buy now, pay later service, so mourners don't even need cash on hand.
That's actually really thoughtful. Removing the logistical stress so families can grieve properly.
Precisely. Now, let's talk about what people pray in front of at home. The Butsudan, the Buddhist home altar.
Oh, I've seen those. They're like ornate wooden cabinets, right?
Traditionally, yes. But the market is shifting dramatically. Hasegawa, the biggest player, saw their e-commerce revenue dip to about $2.7 million in 6 months. But here's the twist. The average purchase price went up. They're discontinuing anything under about $200.
They're going premium?
Very much so. The sweet spot is now around $3,300, the mid-premium range. People want what they call modern Butsudan, which look more like elegant Scandinavian furniture than traditional religious objects. Hasegawa even partnered with a high-end furniture maker and brought in a foreign designer to create a premium line. A first for them.
A foreign designer making a Japanese Buddhist altar? That's a cultural crossover I didn't see coming.
It shows how the altar is evolving from a purely religious object into a lifestyle product. And technology is changing the buying experience too. There's a shop called Takita Shoten that's been in Asakusa since 1912. They launched an AI advisor that operates around the clock.
AI for choosing a Buddhist altar?
Yes. It handles questions about different Buddhist sects, altar dimensions, placement advice, budget recommendations, all through natural conversation. They built it on 20-plus years of e-commerce experience. The knowledge rivals their most senior staff.
So you could be choosing a Butsudan at 3 in the morning and get expert advice.
Exactly. Now, let me tell you about something happening right around the corner from here. See that street? That's Denpoin-dori. 32 shops along this street are being evicted by summer 2026.
Evicted? These shops look like they've been here forever.
Since 1977, They operated rent-free under what they say was the ward mayor's permission, but the government declared it illegal occupation in 2014 and eventually sued. The shopkeepers, many now elderly, finally agreed to vacate.
That's heartbreaking. They were part of what makes Asakusa feel like Asakusa.
A city official said something memorable, though. Asakusa evolves. It's not just about clinging to the past. Change is also what makes Asakusa, Asakusa. The temple's garden behind these shops is a designated national scenic spot, and they're restoring it for Sensoji's 1400th anniversary in 2028.
Beginning and ending again. So what about younger generations? Do they even care about religious traditions?
Let's look at Obon, one of Japan's most important Buddhist events, when families welcome ancestral spirits home. A 2025 survey found that about 30% of people who had a hometown to visit simply chose not to go back.
They just skipped it?
The top reason was, I wanted to stay home. And people saying, I'll visit another time to avoid the crowds, jumped nearly 8 points year over year. Especially among people in their 20s and 30s, the trend is toward day trips, shopping, dining out, local fun rather than spiritual homecoming.
So, Obon is becoming just another vacation week.
For many young people, yes. But here's the fascinating flip side. Religious symbolism is thriving in completely secular contexts.
What do you mean?
JR Central's famous yellow inspection train, Dr. Yellow, retired in January 2025. They took paint chips from the scrapped body and sealed them into protective charms. 42,000 of them, at about $14 to $15 each. They even made a special academic success version for exam season. Every previous batch sold out instantly.
A railway company selling Omamori? That's brilliant marketing.
The urban legend that spotting Dr. Yellow brings good luck gave it an almost spiritual aura. JR Central monetized that beautifully. At auction, a nameplate from the train fetched around $5,300. It's fandom that borders on devotion.
So religion in Japan isn't really disappearing, it's just shape-shifting.
That's the word. Funerals go digital, altars become furniture, train parts become talismans, shrines exist in virtual reality. The form keeps changing, but something underneath persists.
Whether you call it faith or culture or just habit.
Look at this building beside us, Sakura. Old carvings and new scaffolding. The craft changes, but the reverence remains. That's religion in Japan. Not what you believe, but what you choose to carry forward.
Beginning and ending in the same breath, just like this place.
Just like this place. You've been listening to Narrative Japan. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening for the whispers beneath Japan's economy.